Welcome back to the soggy neighborhood of Grow Joyfully. As you can see, there's some new snow there, but now it's turned into rain. It can't decide what it wants to do, but it just wants to stay soggy. Time to go feed the animals. Let's get going. Let's check the soggy chickens out. I know. I get it. I've had enough too. I totally understand. Okay, girls, come on out, but it's soggy, yucky, mucky. There, now we got the door open. Go have some of your food. There you go. There's some scratch. Here's some bread. You guys are very talkative today. I don't like the weather any more than you do. Here you've got, it's okay, you had bread on you. There you go, puffy head. Every day, the little coach and banty out there is getting more and more feathers, and that makes me feel better for her. I've got them all fed and their water all cleaned up. Now it's time to collect the eggs. Well, I got the animals all fed and the eggs in the house. It's time to get out to the greenhouse. Got my boots on, slogging through the snow, the rain, the mud, the muck, the ice. Lovely time of year. Take a look at this sun gold cherry. It's very happy. Pretty soon I am going to plant it into a bigger planter. I need to tend to this one right now and get it out of that cup and start over with some clean soil to see if I can keep it from dampening off. Okay, I've resituated 3 of the sun gold cherry tomato plants that I had started last summer. And they looked like they were dampening off, and indeed they were way too wet in their cups. So I gave them brand new cups with a bigger hole and then drier soil. I left them the soil around their root, and then I put them in these, and I'm not even going to water them for at least a day and see if they can snap out of it. If not, well, then they won't survive, but it's always worth a try. I'm going to pot up this larger cherry tomato plant. They were all the same age. I've treated them all the same, and this one has just done so much better. But it's kind of interesting to see the roots of the tomato and how it's spreading out. I'm going to put it in a larger pot. It won't be taller right now, but it will be wider. So I think it'll be a lot better for the plant. So that looks a lot better, and it's got a lot more room. It was quite damp, but I am going to water it in just a tiny bit. Now this is where, for this segment of the video, I've decided to do something new. And I have to attribute it to Krista at Almost Off-Grid Grandma. Because she did a segment where she focused on using a yeast fertilizer Now yesterday I made this up. If I can show you here, move Mr. Plant. It's a quart of water, a tablespoon of yeast, and a tablespoon of sugar. And I've left it 24 hours so that it can do its fermenting and bubbling and just kind of, I'm not sure what stage it goes through after that, just kind of calms down, but it's supposed to be a super duper good fertilizer for your plants, especially tomatoes. Now, the other videos I watched on this, it looked like that they were just adding it to their plants during the summer and right to the roots of their plants. But for experiment's sake, which I like to do, we are going to add it to this plant here, but we're going to dilute it. I'm going to try to figure out how to put a link to Krista's playlist and the actual video. If I can't do it, please go look up Krista at Almost Off-Grid Grandma, and on her playlist you will find where she talks about using a yeast fertilizer, but it has to be diluted. And if I can get the link on there, she will explain in detail all the things you have to do and how to dilute it and what have you. And then I think she shares her results with us. So little shout out to Krista there, and I'm thanking her ahead of time for the yeast fertilizer videos. And then I'm really hoping it's going to work, but I'm just going to put a little tiny bit on this fellow and just kind of test out the waters. This is just water, and it's about a fourth full, and I'm just going to add, oh, I don't know, maybe a fourth of a cup, maybe less, maybe an eighth of a cup to this water, and then apply just, again, a couple of tablespoons to this plant right here and see how it does. So I've added the fourth of a cup of the yeast mixture to this water jug. It used to be a white vinegar jug, but they're really good to use in gardening. So then I'm just going to add a tiny bit to this plant to water it in, and just to see how it does, because I don't want to get too much water on here. So far it hasn't had any trouble dampening off, but you always want to water a plant in. I have ordered some better soil. I've ordered some peat moss, because this soil, all the soil I try to get is just so barky and sticky. It doesn't matter what brand. And it doesn't seem to matter if it's potting soil, potting mix. This is what I'm dealing with. So I have ordered some peat moss that I'm going to mix in with this. I'm going to continue to use it because I don't like to waste. And then what I've done is I have soaked some habanada and sweet banana peppers for 2 days in a napkin, and I'm going to try to plant them. So it'll be interesting to see how that comes out. I'm going to plant part of them just in this mixture, and the other half in the soil that will have peat moss mixed in with it. And then we'll see which one works the best. So that's a lot of fun to experiment. So I'm so excited because I found some peat moss that was left over from last year. And I'm going to mix it really well with this soil. So it's a lot of peat moss, a lot of soil. Peat moss doesn't have that much nutrition at all. And your seedlings will be fine because they don't need all that much for the first, I don't know, 2, 3, 4 weeks. It has the nutrition right in the seed. So I'm going to take some of the habanada peppers that I've been soaking and place them in this mixture. And then I'm going to place some just in this barky mixture. And then I'm going to cover them with saran wrap and see how they turn out. It's going to take another 2 weeks, but it's worth the experiment because I'm not having any results at all, getting any peppers germinated. So I've got to try something else. Okay, so I have 2 cups ready and watered of peat moss and this potting mix. And here are the sweet banana peppers that I have been soaking. And I'm going to take 4 of these and plant them. If I can get them off my fingers. Get off. There we go. And I always like to hedge my bets. Maybe I'll do one more, because we are getting farther along in the late winter. And how many have we got left? Oh, only one. So I'm just going to use all of this in this potting mix and peat moss. Okay, so we have those ready. Now we'll get some habanada seeds. I'm pretty sure they're going to do a lot better with some peat moss rather than... Come on, I can't get you open. Open, open, open. There you go. Rather than in the awful barky potting mix I have. So we're just going to get some of these in here. Kind of hard to do with dirty, wet hands. Okay, I'm going to save the rest of these for another cup. So we're going to have to see how this does. I'll put some more peat moss on the top of them and cover them up. And water them. And then put saran wrap over them. Make sure everybody's covered. Hopefully this will do a lot better. Okay, so I have the sweet banana peppers and the habanada peppers in new cups. They were the ones that were soaked in the paper towel. I have peat moss, more peat moss than this bumpy, lumpy potting soil. And I'm really hoping that we'll have more of a response here. Down here, these are the ones that I put in the little terrarium type situation. And I really have great hopes for them. I really do. Come on, come on, come on. Already, this brassica looks happier in a new cup of its own with lots of room. So, are we making progress? I think so. Maybe not as much as I would like to see. The Thorburns terracotta has really got a whole bunch that germinated. These were seeds that I saved from last year. It's the first year I've ever grown it. So the seeds that I planted are doing really well. Same with the ruby paste, and I think the vintage wine. Now these were brand new ones, the Gazanti. Brand new ones from Baker Creek, I believe. And they're coming up okay. Somewhere I've got Cherokee purples. Just a few of them. I don't know. I'm not having as much success this year as I have had in the past. Could be the really cold year. Hard to say. Oh, I'm going to put some of the yeast fertilizer in this pot right now. So I will get that done, and it's about time for me to take off and go see my grandkids. I've got the chores done. I've got dinner in the crock pot. I'm going to finish looking after these plants here, and then I'm going to take off and have a good day. And I hope you will too. Thanks for stopping by. We'll see you on the next video.